Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. Today in this video, we are going to solve one of the Leet code question, which is from the array section of the Leet code. And this is question number 724, which says find out pivot index. So what this question is about and how we can develop the solution for it, let me try to go to the Leet code first and then try to read out the question, and then we'll see how we can develop the solution. So this is what we are going to discuss today in this video. So let's get started for that and let me try to come out of it. If you go to the browser, you can go to this particular question, which is question number 724. And if you're not able to find this question out, then what you can do is you can go to the Leet code tag array, and then there you will find the list of all the array question coming under the Leet code. And if you go down, you will find this at the question number 724. So you can see this is the one, find pivot index, and this is what we are going to solve today. So here I already have opened this question. So let me try to read out the question for you, what it is and what it is asking for us to do, and then we'll try to develop the solution for it. So we have the array of integers called nums. We have to calculate the pivot index of this array. So first of all, what is pivot index? Pivot index is the index where the sum of all the numbers is strictly to the left of that index is equal to the sum of all the numbers is strictly to the index right. So you can see that we don't have to include the index there in the sum, right? That is why it is mentioning strictly here. So we have the list of numbers in the array. There is a index. We can say that index as a pivot index only when the sum of all the numbers left to that index is equal to sum of all the numbers right to that index. If that is the condition, then that index is the pivot index. So how we can find it out? If the index is on the left edge of the array, then the left sum is 0. So let's say we have, if you go to the example 3, you will find it out. What it says, if the index is on the left edge of the array, like we have let's say we have array and index is at the 0 index, then the left sum is 0 because there is no element to that left. And this also applies to the right edge of the array. So if the index is at the right edge of the array, which is at the n-1, which is, let's say the length of the array is n, then the element which is at the n-1, that would be the index element, or you can say the index would be n-1 in that case, if the length of that array is n. So that is the rightmost index, and if the rightmost index is the pivot index, then the sum, right sum would be 0, okay, in that case. So this is the corner case scenario, when the corner, the left corner, if the index is at the left corner, then the left sum would be 0. If the index is at the right corner, the right sum would be 0. Okay, and return the leftmost pivot index. If no such index is there, then we have to return -1. So we have to return the leftmost pivot index. Okay, so if there is, let's say, 2 indexes, then we have to return the leftmost pivot index. So here you can see we have the example. The example 1 it has, let's say 6 element, right? And if you sum the left one, let's say 1, 7 and 3, it is 11. And if you left 6 and then sum the right one, which is 5 and 6, then it's also 11. So you can see that the pivot element is 6 and the index is 3, right? So we have to return the pivot index. So the output would be 3. You can see in the explanation that the pivot index is 3 because the left sum equal to num0 plus 1 plus 2, which is equal to 11, and right sum equal to 11. So the pivot index is 3. For example 2, we don't have any pivot index because, let's say, if you are going to choose 0 as a pivot index, then the left sum is 0, but the right sum is 5. If you take 1 as a pivot index, then the left sum is 1 and the right sum is 3, which is also not the case. And if, let's say, you are going to take 2 as a pivot index, then the left sum is 3 and the right sum is 0. So in this case, we don't have any pivot index. That is why we are returning -1. Now if we'll go to the this example 3, you can see that we have 2, 1, minus 1. And if we'll start with the index 0, so you can see that the left sum is 0 and the right sum is also becoming 0 with 1, minus 1. So in this case, the pivot index is 0. So this is what we have to find out. Now what we are going to do here is, let me try to explain you. For the solution, what we are going to do. So first of all, what we are going to do is, we are going to calculate the total sum of the array. Okay, so we are going to add all the elements of the array to find out the total sum, and then we are going to subtract out the left sum and the index, and in that case it would be equal to the right sum, and the right sum is also equal to the left sum, right? Then that in that case, the index that we are subtracting out from the left total sum, that would be the pivot index. So if you're not getting it out, let me try to solve it on the notepad, and then I will explain you. So here we have this array, and let's say the total sum is what it is, 11, and then 11, 22, and then 6, 28. Now what we are going to do is, if let's say left sum double equal to total sum minus left sum minus nums pivot. Okay, in that case this will be equal to right, and if that is the case, then we have to return that index as the pivot index. Okay, so let me try to explain you. So if you'll come here, you can see that the left sum is 11. So let's say left sum equal to 11, and the index is nums pivot equal to 6, and the right sum would be equal to 11, right? So here what we are going to do is, and the right sum equal to left sum, you can see that. Okay, so here you can see that what we are doing is, we are subtracting out the left sum out of the total, and in that case, let's say if you are going to subtract out the left sum out of the total, so it would be 28 minus what it would, 28 minus 11, that would be, I think, 17, right? So here it would be, if we'll try to find out this thing, it would be 28 minus 11, that would be 17, right? And if we'll minus this pivot index, which is 6 here, it would be 11, which is equal to the left sum, or you can see which is equal to the right sum. So that is what we are keeping the condition here, left sum equal to total sum minus left minus pivot index. And if that is the case, then we return the index as a pivot index. So this is what we are going to develop here. Let me try to go to the Leet code and try to solve it out. So let's say I'm going to create a variable called total sum. Let's say total sum, that is equal to 0. And then we are going to develop the for loop here, int I equal to 0, I is less than nums dot length, and then I plus plus, and then total sum plus equal to nums I. Okay, so we are calculating the total sum, and then what we have to do is, we have to create a variable called, let's say, in left sum, and we initialize it with a 0. Now what we have to do is, we have to keep that condition in mind, where the left sum equal to total sum minus left sum minus pivot index. So pivot index element, when I'm saying this. Okay, so if let's say, yeah, left sum double equal to total sum minus left sum minus nums I. If that is the case, then I is the index for us, and that is what we are going to return here, return I. If this is not the case, okay, so if it is, and then we have to also create a new, close this process. Okay. So if that is the case, then the pivot index is I, and what we have to do is we are inside this out of if, we have to also find out the left sum. So just keep increasing, adding the left element. So it would be plus equal to nums I. So we are keep adding the left sum and then trying to subtract out of the total, and then also subtract out the particular index element, and then see if that is equal to the left sum. If it is, then that is the index, and that index is the pivot index. If that is the case, then we are returning this out as a pivot index. If nothing happens, then return -1. Okay, now let me try to run this piece of code and then see. And here you can see that there are 3 test cases, all are passed. Now submit it out and just wait. You can see that it took only 1 millisecond and it reads around 94% of the solution. So this is how you can solve this problem, and this is very easy way to solve this out. So this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.